Hello, I am Squall from Asia Server 1 of Age of Arena. I am playing since day 1. And for today, I am going to give you a guide of the hero tier list of Age of Arena. We will start with the wind heroes. So, first is Yasuo. I will put Yasuo in the S tier. Why? Because Yasuo can offer an area of effect damage and a single target burst damage both at the same time. The area of effect will come from his ultimate, which can also apply dizziness or stun from all of his opponents. And the single target damage will come from his third skill, which can apply a critical hit every time that it is triggered. Next is Medusa. I will put Medusa in the B tier. Medusa is a knight that her ultimate can hit up to 3 targets, but his fourth skill needed the enemy to be poisoned in order to maximize her potential. Next is Eridanus. I will put Eridanus in the A tier. Eridanus is a single target burst damage hero. He also has a high dodge, which can waste the enemy's attack or even ultimate if you are lucky. But his fourth skill, like Medusa, also need the enemy to be poisoned in order for the effects to be maximized. Next is Kukulkan. I will put Kukulkan in the B tier. She is the warrior of the Wind faction. As a warrior, she does not deal a lot of damage and she also not that tanky compared to the real tank. What she can offer you is an area of effect poison to all of the enemy heroes, which means that she can be a good support for Eridanus and Medusa. Next is Demeter. I will put Demeter in the A tier. Demeter is the support of the Wind faction. She can heal her allies, although her heals is continuous and needs seconds in order to be fully applied. That means that even if she casts her skill, the opponents still have a window or period of time to capitalize on that moment in order to kill your heroes before the heal is completed. Next is Poseidon. I will put Poseidon in the S tier. Why? Because of the crowd control that he can offer. His ultimate can pull the opponent heroes, which can then make them out of position for your heroes to capitalize. Also, his fourth skill can apply freeze every time he does a normal attack. Next is Logan. I will put Logan in the S tier. Logan is the mage of the water faction. His ultimate is very strong and can also freeze his opponents, which is again very good. Crowd control is very important in this game. Next is Chion. I will put Chion in the A tier. Chion is the single target burst damage of the water faction. But aside from that, her ultimate can also freeze her opponent, which is again very good. Next is Meow Meow. Meow Meow is the support of the water faction. I will put him in the meme tier. Why? Because as a support, you would want your support to have very good healing capabilities. But Meow Meow's ultimate is a damage that can apply attack speed. That is good, but in terms of healing, he will fall behind in the other healers of the game. His only heal is from his third skill, which can only heal one ally. The good thing about him is, he can remove debuffs applied by the enemy. So, if in the future patches, there are more enemies that can apply deadly debuffs, then his ranks will rise. Next is Icy. I will put Icy in the B tier. Because in order to deal a lot of damage, Icy needs her opponent to be frozen. So she needs to rely on her teammates to freeze the enemy in order to maximize her potential. So after the wind and water faction, let's go to the fire faction. First is Asmodeus. I will put Asmodeus in the B tier. Asmodeus is a knight that can deal a single target burst damage. She is good in boss raid to increase your rank because of the damage that she can deal, because she also applies burn, which like poison deals a percentage of HP of the opponent. But aside from that, she is squishy and cannot kill as many heroes as fast like the others. Next is Mars. I will put Mars in the S plus tier. Why? Because Mars has a very unique third skill, which can put fire shield to her ally. While other heroes can also protect their allies, Mars' third skill activates so fast, faster than the rest of the protection skills. So, he can prevent your highest damage dealer from dying. Aside from that, his ultimate is very good, which is an AoE that can taunt up to 2 enemy heroes. Next is Wenstein, or however you pronounce that. If you can correct me with the proper pronunciation, you can put that in the comment later. I will put him in the B tier. Why? Because as a tank, his ultimate offers offensive damage. And his only tanking skills is his fourth skill, which is a regen per second. So for me, his role in reality is more of a warrior rather than a tank. What's good about him is he offers healing reduction, which is another unique debuff that is very important in this game. So if ever you need a heal reduction, you can count on him. Next is Wukong. I will put Wukong in the B tier. He is a knight that can deal an area of effect damage. His downside is he is melee and he does not have a dash or blink. And his good skill comes from his third skill that can reduce the defense of the opponents. If only they make it that his ultimate also decrease the defense of the opponent, then his power will also rise. Next is Apollo. I will put Apollo in the S tier. Why? Because she can heal all of her allies while doing damage to all of enemies. Aside from this, his third skill can give energy to your highest damage dealer. This will enable your damage dealer to release their ultimate faster than the opponent, which will give you a very big advantage. Next is Fortuna. I will put Fortuna in the S tier. Why? Because like I mentioned before, decreasing the defense of the opponents is a very important skill in this game. And Fortuna's ultimate can reduce the defense of all opponents that she can hit. And most of the time, her ultimate hits up to 4 or 5 enemies. So now, after the wind, water, and fire faction, let's go to the dark faction. First one is Hastur. I will put Hastur in the A tier. Why? Because even though Hastur can deal very high amount of damage, AoE and single target, the triggers in her skill is slow. So sometimes the opponents can kill him before he can release his skills. Next is Freya. I will put Freya in the S tier. Because unlike the other supports that can heal, Freya's heal is instantly applied. Your heroes does not need to wait for seconds to be completely healed. That is the very big advantage that Freya can offer. Next is Sans. I will put Sans in the S plus tier. Why? Because of his unique ultimate that can apply Banish. His ultimate can apply Banish up to 2 enemy heroes. And if it succeeds, then the fight will instantly become 3 versus 5, which will put you in a very big advantage. Next is Lucifer. I will put Lucifer in the A tier. Many might disagree with me on this because I know that Lucifer is their favorite hero. But in order for Lucifer to become strong, he needs the help of his allies. He needed heroes that can apply curse to the enemy for his power to be strong. So if he is alone or if he is in other team that cannot apply curse, then his damage will be significantly lower. So in order for him to become very powerful, he needs to be in the team that can apply curses. Next is Asteria. I will put Asteria in the S tier. Why? Because she also has a unique ability that applies curses and reduce the defense of the opponents right at the start of the battle. She does not need to wait any seconds. Right at the start of the battle, the curses and the defense are already decreased. Next is Luna. I will put Luna in the S tier. She is the mage of the dark faction and she can deal a lot of damage from her ultimate and her third and fourth skill. If Luna successfully killed an opponent that has a negative effect, then she will deal additional damage. With this, she can be used to combo in many different heroes. Next is Vey. I will put Vey in the S plus tier. Why? Because Vey deals a percentage HP as damage. Percentage HP damage is always good because the stronger the opponent, the higher their HP, the higher your damage. Vey is also one of the top boss killer in the game. Next is Hyperion. I will put Hyperion in the S plus tier. Why? Because again, crowd control. Hyperion's ultimate can taunt all of his opponents. Aside from that, every time that he gets attacked, he has a chance to petrify the opponents for 5 seconds. Imagine if you got petrified on your first attack, you get petrified for 5 seconds. After that petrification, if you get lucky and attack him again and then the petrifies trigger again, that's an additional 5 seconds, which will make your heroes useless for a total of 10 seconds. Next is Michael. I will put Michael in the S tier. Michael is a warrior that can blink to the back row and also stun the enemy. Aside from that, his selling point is his immortality. He has a built-in immortality that can make him survive for a few seconds even though his HP should already be depleted. This can make the opponent waste skill or basic attacks on him. Next is Damo. I will put Damo in the A tier. Damo is another warrior from the light faction. His selling point is his ultimate that can deal a high single target damage to the opponent. But like other good warriors, he cannot blink or dash right away into the back row of your opponent. He needed time for his ultimate to be unlocked or to be unleashed in order to blink to the opponent's damage dealer. Next is Gaia. I will put Gaia in the A tier because unlike other tanks, that offers crowd control, Gaia offers a shield. Although early game and mid game, shields are very good, in late game, when the attack of the opponents become higher, or due to the AI's timing of skills, sometimes when Gaia casts her shield, your opponent's skills are not yet ready, and then when the shields is gone, that's when your opponent will cast their skills, meaning your shield will be wasted. Next is Aurora. I will put Aurora in the A tier. Because like Hastur, Aurora deals a very high amount of damage, AoE and single target, but the problem with her is she casts her skills at a slow pace. So sometimes the enemy can kill her before she can cast her skills. Next is Zeus. I will put Zeus in the S tier. Zeus offers a very high amount of single target damage to your opponent. Aside from that, her third skill can apply dizziness or stun to your opponent, which is very good. Next is Zion. I will put Zion in the S plus tier. Why? Because again, Zion can offer a percentage of HP of your opponent as damage, and he can deal this to your 5 opponents as an area of effect. Next is Venus. I will put Venus in the God tier. Why? Because Venus is the only hero that can resurrect the dead teammates. Imagine if you are fighting 5v5, then the opponent killed 2 of your heroes. The fight will become 3 versus 5. But while Venus is standing and still alive, she can turn that around and make the fight 5v5 again. That's how strong she is. Next is Leia. I will put Leia in the S plus tier. Leia has a very high attack speed, and her third skill offers an AoE silence to the enemy. Aside from that, her ultimate also deals damage to all of the enemies. After using her ultimate, her normal attack will also become AoE. Next is Shang-Yu. I will put Shang-Yu in the S plus tier. Shang-Yu is the improved version of Gaia. The difference is Shang-Yu's fourth skill make him more durable than the rest. When his HP is below 40%, he will gain damage reduction. Next is Aretusa. I will put Aretusa in the S plus tier. Aretusa is a mage. While her energy takes longer time to be filled, this is compensated by her ability to reduce the defense of the opponents and also to increase the damage that she can deal. Next is Metis. I will put Metis in the S plus tier. Metis is also a mage that can deal single target damage. Her selling point is being able to seduce the enemy. Her ultimate can seduce up to 2 enemy heroes. And that is also included as a crowd control. Next is Lubu. I will put Lubu in the God tier. Why? Because Lubu, as indicated in the game is a tank. But as a tank, he also deals a very high amount of damage, and that is again because of the percentage HP damage dealt to the enemies. But this time, the percent HP is based on his HP. Next is Pangu. I will put Pangu in the S plus tier. Pango offers a very good crowd control which can taunt all of his enemies, and aside from that, every time that he is attacked, there is a chance for him to apply healing reduction to the enemies that attack him. And again, this is very good because in this game you can expect a lot of players to use healers, so Pango can counter them. Next is Mulan. I will put Mulan in the S plus tier. Mulan is the improved version of Michael. Having his ultimate deals higher damage and a wider AoE range, and his immortality will also give him additional damage boost. Next is Helios. Helios is a warrior, and his power spikes per battle depends if he gets lucky or not. His skills triggers has different chances and their damage also varies. If you get lucky in a battle and he triggers his very high damage skills, then you can win that battle easily. But if in a battle and you only trigger his average skills, then that battle can take longer. Next is Shenong. I will put Shenong in the S plus tier. Shenong is the improved version of Apollo, but instead of applying burns, she applies poison. So, he is good if you need to poison your enemy in order to boost the skills of your other heroes like Eridanus and Medusa. And lastly, it is Aphrodite, also a healer from the UR tier. I will put her in the S plus tier. Why? Because as a healer, when she heals her ally and their allies has full HP, that heal will be converted into a shield, meaning that every time she heals, there will be no wasted heal, because any excess heals will be converted into shield. And that is our hero tier list for Age of Arena. But do note that this tier list is based on their current capabilities, not including the factor of their unique weapons, because the game is still new and some other unique weapons are not yet identified. So this will be our current tier list. In the future, if we can identify all of the unique weapons of every heroes, then maybe if you guys wanted to, I can make another tier list for that. If you have any question or if you have any request, any guide, any help that you need, you can comment down below. Thank you.